Hi. Okay, so this month, the month of March, I am going to be going through working my stash from behind the scenes. You're going to see, and sometimes it's going to be boring, I don't know. You're going to see me go from an inspiration piece to pulling out and having everything ready the way I do my journals. Or pretty much any project that I'm working on, whether it's a mini album, journals, cards. This is kind of the way my mind works, and then the way I have to do things. That seems to work best for me. Maybe you'll get something out of it, or at least you'll hear me talking again. There's going to be a lot less of me this time, so that's always a good thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to start off with whatever my inspirational piece is. I'll have to pick that first, so that'll be interesting. And then I'll go through all of my thought processes and the kind of, I mean, sometimes I shake it up a little bit, but for the most part, this is kind of what I do from step one through step whatever it is. It may seem like it's a waste of time, or it may seem like, you know, maybe it saves a lot of time. To me, it saves me a lot of time, because once I pull all of my items together, I pretty much don't go back into my craft room. I mean, it sounds like, you know, it's right here. I work right here in my craft room, so it's not like I can't turn around and grab something. However, I do try and organize myself so I've got everything right in my little U-shaped space that I'm going to use on that project, so I don't have to get up, go somewhere, and pull something out. I've got it. It's all right there. And if I don't have it, you know, then unless it's just really screaming at me, oh my gosh, you need to go pick up that little blah, I pretty much work with what I've got. But you're going to see I get pretty thorough with it. There might be some things you're just going to go, oh, let's skip on through to the end because this is pretty boring. Like picking out my papers. I literally take you through individual sheets of paper. So go figure. We'll see how it ends up. I'm not going to do one of these every month, but this month, I am going to, through this 4-piece video, I think there's 4 Saturdays this month. So each Saturday, I'm going to put out a video. Each Saturday, that video, and it's going to be called Working My Stash, or I don't know, Behind the Scenes something. I'm sorry. Whatever this one is called will be on each one of them. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. Yeah, just look up there. Look down there. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, but if you comment on these videos and give me an idea of whether of something that you would like for me to cover on this series, obviously in the first couple of videos, and then I can cover the whatever questions on the last series. So the first 3 series, if you get something on there that you'd like for me to cover about this, I will cover that on the last part 4. Or something that you would like to see me do a series on. So either one of those types of information on the comment. A question about this series, or a question about something you'd like to see. And I'm going to give away everything you see me pull together. I'm getting ready to do a journal. So everything you see me pull together, there's going to be a kit for myself and a kit for you. And you'll see it as we go, and you'll see how this kit is going to grow. There's going to be, like I said, a kit for you and a kit for me. And then, you know, sometime in April, I'll show you the finished product. I'm not going to do a step-by-step on actually making the journal. This is actually what I do going through to pick all of my things to prepare for the journal, and my thought process behind it and stuff. So that's what I'm doing this time. So I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll put some comments down so that every comment that you do on any of the 4 videos on this series will give you a chance to win. And on the first Saturday in April, I guess, is whatever day that is. I don't know. I don't have my calendar with me. I'm so sorry. But I will write that down. The first Saturday in April, I will draw the winner. And it's not going to be any fancy copter thingy or whatever. I'm low tech. It's really awesome that I know how to do these things. But I will print all the comments out and cut the strips, and you know, we'll pick them from there. So it'll be oh, my son just went away. Anyway, okay, so that's it. Now let's get to the video, and this first part you're going to see is my inspiration piece and first steps. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to your comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye! This is what I'm talking about. I have had this in my craft room for quite some time now. It's they're sold as a placemat, and it's really nice and thick, beautiful colors, and I just love this. So this is my inspiration piece. I am going to pull everything from this. Like, there's some stamps here. There's a dragonfly, bird, ferns, flowers. There's lots of reds. There's some kind of a greeny red. Lots of greens. There's browns. A little bit of blue. Just a touch of a deep blue. I have a stamp that has this flourish looking piece on it. It's a background stamp. I know I have a stamp that is got a dragonfly. I've got a nice dragonfly. I know I've got a stamp that is some ferns. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through my stamps. I've got stamps with birds on them. I'm going to go through my stamps, and I'm going to see what I can find that I'm going to be able to use in my journal. So that is the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to not run you through this section, because basically it's just going through your stamps and you guys would be bored silly. So I'm going to pull my stamps together, and then I'll be right back and show you what I've got. Okay, so this is my this is a Unity stamp, and it's a dragonfly. I mean, you'll get to see it after a while, but you know, you'll see me doing all of this. I have these, which I think will look really nice, and this, which I think will look really nice. That's probably about it for that, except for maybe some of the verbiage. This one, this fern stamp, really like this fern stamp. So that will probably get used. I don't know about these two. They might be a little too whimsical for what I want. I pulled this out. Now, this is a little artistic licensing, but to me, the flowers and stuff around this clock kind of remind me of what's on this page and the era, the feel. So I'm using this La Blanche stamp. This is a Heidi Swap background stamp, and it's really dirty, but, well, it's well used. I don't think it's dirty anymore. I think it's just stained. But it's got a lot of the kind of flourishes and stuff that's on this, so I think this will look really nice. Here's some birds, birdhouse. Get this in focus here. Birdhouse, birds, some script. And then this does have like stamps and a Airmark sticker that's stamped on there. So I pulled out these so that I could use a few of them. Okay, so there's some stamps pulled out for this thing. Now I want to figure out what I'm going to do. Now this is not a true white, but it's really not a heavy, let me pull these out of the way, a heavy stain. So there is some brown. You probably can't see this like I can, but there is some brown, very light brown throughout this thing. So it's really not a true white per se. There is some white pieces, but not a bunch. So I'm going to figure out what colors are going to go. Now I have some tea stained. This was blueberry tea, which gave a very mild light yellow. But I'm not really liking that with this. I had some whiter pages that I just touched to wet pages. So that's another way that you can do this, is if you, when you have one page that's all wet, you can take a clean page and pick up some of the stuff and then take it off and let it dry. And then you get, you know, it's somewhat stained, but it's not all the way stained. But I'm still not liking that with this, so I'm thinking no on these. I mean, that's not bad to have a couple, but I'm just not really feeling that. Sorry, I've got some cream colored paper. Well, let me pull what I've got. Let me do it that way instead of one at a time, and then you can see how I make my decision. Okay, I think this is going to focus if I show a little bit more of this. Let me take these off of here just a little bit. Okay, so here are some of the sheets that I have. Now this is just a, solid white, not dyed at all. This is a coffee stained paper that I have. This is just a very light off-white paper, and then this is a cream colored. Now these are all, this is copy paper, this is copy paper. This is something I got at a garage sale that actually has kind of a finish on it. So I don't know if it's an inexpensive photo paper or what it is, but it takes a coffee stain beautifully. Anyway, so I'm actually thinking for some, I kind of like the coffee stained paper, or I like this paper, and I might use a little bit of both. This one is just a bit too yellow. Just a bit too yellow for you know, the look that I'm wanting. I don't really want this to look antique so much as just all in the same period. Okay, it doesn't have to be antiqued, but it does need to look somewhat cohesive. And that's what we're always looking for, isn't it? So I think I might use a mixture of the two of these papers. Now the next thing, so I've got my stamps. So I have an idea of what I'm going to be able to do on papers. I've got some copy paper, type paper, that I'm going to use for the, you know, the main parts of the book. Now I'm going to pick some, whether you call it designer series or scrapbook paper, whatever you want to call it. Now I need some decorative papers and some solid cardstocky stuff that I'm going to put into this book. So I'm going to grab a handful of papers and be back in a second. So you're going to see them as I'm seeing them, but I'm just going to grab a handful.